If you've ever wondered about the process that takes an idea from my brain into one of the websites that I make and the content that you watch, then this is how. This is an overview of the skills I've learned and what I use to maintain and build 4 projects as well as create content. And I made this diagram because I'm getting concerned about whether or not this is even possible for me. I'm not talking about the improbabilities of me getting this done, I'm talking about the impossibilities. Because the list I'm about to show you will only keep growing, and it doesn't include the rest of my life, like hobbies, friends, family, and my actual job. But I digress. Let me show you the pipeline. It starts off in my brain, and then it goes into my second brain, which is Notes, Obsidian, and Notion. This is where all the planning gets done, and I probably spend way too many hours here, but it's so necessary to make sure that every other following stage works. And I didn't used to take notes, and my brain used to just be all this huge mess, but making notes and planning everything out saves so much time in the later stages. Now let's talk about the app flow. There are some things here which you probably won't understand, but I'll try and explain everything. Supabase and SQL is my backend. What this is the database. This is usually what you don't see when you go on a website. Then on the left we have Figma, which is what I use to design my websites. And from there I go down into Vite and React. And all of this is within VS Code, which is where I write all of my code. Flask and Python, which is down here, is essentially an in-between thing between my front end and my back end. It runs on a server, and without being too technical, you also don't see all of this code that I write when you go on a website. And then I use something called Docker, which is a pane, and essentially this puts it on some other software that puts it out onto the internet. So down here you see Namecheap. This is where I buy domains like gabezito.com and lyricscode.com. Then I put it through a DNS, which honestly I'm not even too sure what it does, but it helps with privacy and cybersecurity. And then after that, depending on whether it's the front end or the back end, I either put it on Vercel or I put it on Railway. And once I put it on Vercel or Railway, it becomes a product that you guys can go see. Now it's good to know that ChatGPT is here in a huge circle, because without ChatGPT, which is my third brain, I would never be able to have accomplished any of this at the speed that I do. And that's the first half of it. The second half is the media flow. It's essentially what takes the product into something that you guys can visually see. So the end place is Instagram and TikTok for now. There are other things like YouTube and Reddit, but those are not too important. The first thing I have to do is script and plan my entire video, which takes a lot longer than you probably think, because I have to think about virality, which includes hooks and just general content. People literally take an entire course in marketing just to get this bit right. And then there's the filming, which includes lighting, color theory, composition, which once again people do an entire degree and spend their entire life figuring out. And then after that I use either LumaFusion, CapCut, or DaVinci to edit my video. And after that it's pretty much ready for me to put onto Instagram and TikTok. And once it's on Instagram and TikTok, this is the content that you see. There are a few other gray boxes here like Google Search Console, general engagement, and SEO. I didn't know where to put these, but these are essentially things that don't fit into either the app or the media flow. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the different steps in a very, very, very brief overview. And it's quite a lot. I'm still kind of amazed that I've picked up all of these skills over the past few years. But honestly, if I do this right, in around 1 year's time, this pipeline that you see right now will probably be double in size. I hope that was helpful, or at least not overly confusing. And yeah, that's it. If you made it this far, I love you. Bye.